Hi everybody. I know I took a lot of day break. I have no reason other than for some of the days I was just tired. I just felt like it was the same old, and in some ways I guess that's good. So what I thought I would do to re-summarize what has been going on since Thanksgiving morning was I would in general start talking about Flynn's overall health and anything in regards to the bone marrow transplant. Then I thought I would insert a couple of pictures and talk about things from like the day-to-day that happened here at the hospital. And then lastly, I do have some crochet and knitted items. I know, isn't that amazing? I'm so excited. Okay, so that is the overall plan. If you're just here to talk about Flynn and hear what's going on with him, the first part of the video is for you. And if you do care about knitting and crocheting and all that, hold off till the end. So last off, you guys had heard that Flynn was puking every time he took his glutamide. Glutamide? Can't really remember. And as of Thanksgiving morning, Dr. Dave said if it's causing him what did he say? Discomfort or intolerance, don't give it to him. So at first, he would just puke right away. So then they would give him all his other pills and medicine, and they would wait 35, 40 minutes for that to get into his system, and then they would try the glutamine, and then he would puke it all up. I think he puked it a total of 4 times before they were like, yeah, don't give it to him. So he hasn't had it since. And other than that, he still really hasn't had big symptoms. He still has his hair looking as cute as ever. He's tired, he's nauseous, and he's on daily anti-nausea medicine. He doesn't have a lot of desire to eat. Every once in a while he will eat. Like when we first came here, he was having French toast sticks, 6 of them, for breakfast, cheeseburger, French fries for lunch, cheeseburger, French fries for dinner. Flynn is a man of consistency. He likes the same thing. Since, like for instance, yesterday, he had some dry cereal, like some Cheerios for breakfast. And then mid-afternoon, like about the 3 o'clock range, he had 1 taco, hard shell taco with meat and cheese, and 1 hot dog. And some crackers. That's pretty much all he eats. So his diet has dramatically gone down. But overall, his health seems to be trucking along. Right now in the bone marrow transplant process, we are waiting for all of Maddie's bone marrow cells to find their way into where bone marrow is made. That's the miracle part of it. Once they've injected them, they pump around in Flynn's blood, but that's what we're waiting for. They're waiting for them all to go into the blood factory place. Once they get there, Flynn's body has to let them live there and hang out there, and then start making his marrow just like that. So we're just really in this wait and see zone. Wait to see if he's going to reject her. It's called graft versus host disease. Or wait to see, if obviously she rejects him. As of right now, the only big worry was when they were putting her cells in him. His blood pressure went really, really high, but they were able to maintain that with medication. And when he had the tremors, they just reduced his amount of Traco. And as right now, the only other thing they're doing is increasing his magnesium. But yeah, so his health overall is maintaining. Now, in the last couple days, very excitedly, my sister came. I put her on the visitor list, and she came for Thanksgiving, and she was here Thursday. Friday, there was a little bit of a hiccup in regards to the fact that Flynn had some diarrhea. Now, when they have diarrhea around here, they go to worst case scenario and work their way to least case. So for Friday, they put him under restriction. He wasn't able to leave the room. Anytime anybody came into this room, they had to wash their hands with soap and water. Sanitizer wasn't enough. they had to put on a yellow paper gown and a yellow paper hat and gloves. And they would all put that on, and then they would take it off when they leave and threw it away. And then they sent his fecal out for a test. The worst case scenario is he had an infection. Best case scenario, he's having a bad reaction to lactose. So on restriction day, he also can't leave the room. So Bree decided she could have stayed here, but she decided to go up to Oshkosh and hang out with Maddie and Jaron. Brandon was on a double, which meant they would be home for most of that time alone. So she left here Friday, went up to Oshkosh, and hung out with the two big kids, which was really nice because, you know, being like sisters, her and I are, it's like having a little piece of me over there with them. Yeah, and then Friday night she came back to Milwaukee, went to her hotel, and then Saturday morning she was back here with Flynny and I, and she was here all day with us. While she was here, now I will insert some pictures after this little snippet here. Of course, I have a picture of Thanksgiving dinner. The hospital gave 2 Thanksgiving dinners, and then Flynn got his regular one. So we ate Thanksgiving together. It was passable. It was a nice gesture for the hospital to give us the food, but it was hospital food, not delicious. Also, Flynn got to see another therapy dog. So I'll insert a picture of Bentley. I don't remember where I was, but when I came back, Bentley was just leaving. And so the handler took a picture of him and Bentley. And also there's these cute little trains that I took a picture of. And I wanted to get a video of them. And they're like these little train carts. And they're just trucking down, chewing down the hall. And they'll be like, turning right at the next corner. And they tell you what they're doing. They will even get into an elevator on their own. And so I asked one of the nurses what they were. And she said they just ship supplies to and from floors. Pretty amazing. It looks like a little kid train. It's painted and there's kids on it. What was the other thing that, so here, I'll insert those pictures. A picture of Thanksgiving, a picture of the dog, a picture of the train. Okay, so yesterday was kind of a busy day in the fact that it was one of his changing days. Every 6 to 7 days, they change either his bandages, his tubes, and or his IV pole, or some kind of combination of them. So yesterday though, they took his bandage off, pulled off his tubes that go with his current IV pole, and they clean up the area and put a new bandage on. And then he was free from his pole for a while. With being free from the pole, they gave him a shower, or he gave himself a shower. They have a little stool in the bathtub, and he just sat down and washed his hair and whatnot. But the fun thing was, or fun for all of us, but not really for Flynn, was they wanted him to take a walk. So for the first time in like 2 or 3 weeks, Flynn took a walk without his IV pole. And I have a little video clip of that. Walking without the IV pole.
Weird.
Good.
Weird. But good.
There's really not many places to go around here though. All right, well done, Flynn. Let's let them all see you're walking. So that wasn't necessarily thrilling, but it was kind of cool. Well, the last thing, which I'm not necessarily thrilled about, and this is the last thing before yarn talk happens. They told us that every 20 days you get to change a new room. What? Yeah, so apparently in the hospital world or in science or whatever, it takes about 20 days for bacteria to start growing in a sanitized room or something like that. So we get to pack up everything in this room and take it to a new room, and then they'll sanitize this room. Well, the good news is I asked Brandon to bring back our suitcases because I didn't want them piled up in the corner of the room. So, I mean, part of me is frustrated by it, but the other part of me is like, what else are you going to do today, lady? Might as well move rooms, right? I had nearly talked Flynn into just moving next door, because the next door, our neighbor moved out, and then we would be in the same, we're beeping again, the same little area, and would just be scooting back and forth. But very excitedly, apparently there's a helicopter pad on the other side of the building, and Flynn wants to go over onto that side, and I'm like, stop being lazy, Summer. It's just down the hall on the other side. How hard is that? What else am I gonna do today? So that's our plan for today, is to pack up our stuff and just carry it bit by bit over to the other side. So hopefully they have, well, hopefully, but not hopefully, I guess, they have some helicopters landing by our window. Okay, so that's the end of that part. The nurse came in and turned off that annoying beeping sound, which is his IV pole. But anyway, so we're moving. Today I'm gonna pack up everything and move it down the hall. Now, to show you the stuff that I have been making. The last 2 days I made this hat. I love this yarn. I don't have the ball bands because when my sister came and visited, I asked her to bring me some acrylic. I want to say this variegated one is some kind of like love. Anyway, I was feeling like even though I brought some yarn, I just wanted to make a hat. I guess I just wanted something mindless, and I know I don't need any more second grade hats. So this is one of those that I changed every other row, and I really like it because it has the variegated look, but I think that solid color of purple makes it less busy. So this is a perfect sized hat for my head. I like it. Okay. Whew. Then I made this one. This is like a Christmas hat. And get it like this. Oh. Can you guys see that? How it has like that bauble, little floppy on the top. I made it super big so that this part here could bobble. I don't know. Yeah, so this is out of I love this yarn, kind of a Christmas, and it has like the tinsel in it, which is so annoying. I like the look of it. I will say it's less itchy than the Red Heart tinsel one, but the thing that I hate is sometimes it gets caught up in the tinsel, like right here. I don't know if you can see the tinsel started getting matted up. But anyway, I forgot to weave in that end. You see that? Tuck it in there. My sister made the pom-pom with her pom-pom maker. I haven't used one of these in a real long time, because I find that kids take the hats off with the pom-pom, and when they do that, they fall apart. Now, these two hats I've been carrying around, I made these the first week I was here. And then I am starting a one. Oh, here's the yarn. Lollipop Love. So I'm making a hat with just the Lollipop Love. This is Lollipop Love mixed with a magenta, or a kind of a purpley color, lavender. And then last but not least, I finished this blanket. It's a corner to corner, and I made it with that Karen Go-Go to Go-Go yarn, the ones that come in the toilet seat ring. Now, the disappointing thing about that is I used 3. Yeah, it's a worsted weight, and before I color controlled, so I rolled a ball and then made all the light blue into one big ball and then all this aqua into another. And I thought that I would have enough to make a baby sweater and this blanket, but it used up 98%. I literally only have a little ball. I didn't have enough to go around and do another. I just single crocheted all the way around. So I didn't do any kind of real pattern. I just changed colors whenever I wanted. So that's what I've done. I made a baby blanket. Oh, and then when Bree was coming, she's also making hats for her class, but she's crocheting. And she's crocheting those rectangle ones that then you sew together and you cinch at the top and then flip it inside out and attach a pom-pom. So I actually made one hat for her, 2 hats in Oasis blue, or Beach Oasis. You know that favorite blue I have of Red Heart. I love this yarn. And then I made another one for her in, a rainbow. It was, I wonder if I have, this right here. Big twist, colorway, inclusivity. I saw Mama Llama Kayla had bought this maybe last year, and then I went and bought a bunch of them. And actually I crocheted the hat with it. In order to get it as tight as she does, because my sister's a real tight crocheter, I use a 4 hook. And I chained 37, and then, which turns out to be 9 inches this way, you know, from the top to the bottom. And then 17 inches around for the kid hat. And so I'll insert a picture of those. I only have 2 of the hats because I made the one hat. She took it on Thursday, put it in her car, and then when she came back Saturday I made 2 hats for her. Isn't that amazing? So I made 3 hats for her. So since Thanksgiving, I made 3 hats for her, and I knitted 2 hats for myself, and I've started a 3rd. So I kind of feel like I've got, and then I made a baby blanket. That's a lot. I think for a while, just for the nonsensicalness of it, just because I have so much going on my mind and this dull waiting, I think I might just knit hats for a while. I had my sister bring me up some yarn from Oshkosh when she went on Friday. This purple, I love that yarn with that metallic in it. This is a Premier dollar store yarn with this Michaels. I'm gonna do a hat with that. This is also one of my favorite yarns. I love this yarn, Striped Surprise, and I'm gonna mix it with this Big Twist Gray. And then this is one of my all-time favorite yarns. I thought about making a video when I got back and show you guys all my favorite yarns, but this is one of them. Big Twist Party in the color Confetti, which is just like one of the yarns they put in the Crochet Society for the November box. And I was really feeling like I wanted to make a hat with this. So she brought me 2 of these. I hoarded these up when I saw them at my Joann's. I think I bought everything that they had on the shelf, which was 5 of one kind and 6 and 1 of another. And I haven't made anything yet with it because now every time I go online or even into my Joann's online that says in-store only, and then my Joann, she never has it. Joann doesn't. So, Joann, but if I ever see it, I'm going to snatch it all up. It's like that Lion Brand Carousel. It's a bulky one. It's a very similar colorway, actually. And whenever I see that I snatch up a bunch of those, because that makes a nice fat hat. I did tell Bree, because this is the last time I'll see her before her end of the Christmas party for her class, and I think she's running behind. She doesn't think she's going to be able to finish all the hats. And I made her 3 in a weekend. I told her that she should switch to bulky yarn and just follow those same measurements. Switch to bulky yarn, make it so that it's 9 inches from the top to the bottom, because remember she does that rectangle, and then 17 inches, and it'll be the same dimensions, just it's going to go faster with the bulky yarn. Now she crochets with a 5.5 hook with worsted weight yarn and is pretty tight. So I don't even know what size hook she should probably go up to in order to make those dimensions. I don't know. I told her maybe try a 6.5 hook. But anyway, I just know that when I was making that style hat, that cinched hat for my second graders, I did that for 2 years before I started knitting. I used the bulky yarn and it went really quick. I could make a couple hats in a day. Well, now I made a couple hats with worsted weight. But anyway, this is a really giant video. Okay, that was just the nurse telling me that it was rounds. That's where actually, I kind of like it. All the doctors, all the people on staff, like the resident of the day, the fellow of the day, the main doctor in charge for the day, the nurse, a pharmacist, and I don't know, I think that's about it. They all stand up there and talk about your kid, and then they ask you how things are going. So she just came in, but I don't remember where I was ending with that, except for it's time to pack up and start getting ready to haul our stuff across the hall. Now, luckily, the area that we're in is in a square, and we're going all the way to the other side. The inside of the square is the nurse and doctor station. So, like I said, what else do I have to do today except for move over there? Okay, well, that's all. I'm gonna keep plugging away on a hat or two, make some hats, maybe stock them up for next year, and think of something to make with all my scraps. Flynn's still sleeping, and he's had his bandage and his bath and all that, so we've got another, thankfully, a calm week ahead while we wait for Maddie's cells to move in and grow. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for being patient with me while I took those days hiatus and just sat around here and crocheted and knitted with my sister. All right, bye.